when you find something that resonates through time across different circumstances, you'll see it comes back over and over and over again. So I'm going to bring up those words. We started talking about them yesterday. Sorry, let me just... I'm just going to share, and I did send them out. I've sent them out via email twice now. And so yesterday we looked at this particular, we started at the beginning. Sorry, just get there. We started with this slide and moved on to the second slide. And then we looked at Build It Anyway. But I wanted to open it up straight away. If there was anybody who looked through the different statements, and if there was something in particular that struck you, and then we can start there. Otherwise, we'll just move on to the third slide. If you are successful, you will win. False friends and true enemies succeed anyway. But I do want to just check with anybody if there is a current mulling over that you would like for us to start with.
All right, if there's not anybody, but if something comes to you guys, just raise your hand from the little blue hand at the bottom of the participants pop-out screen if you know how to operate that. Otherwise, I think we're just going to let Lee carry on. Doesn't seem to be anybody. There we go, Cecile. Okay, Cecile, go for it.
I thought that slide was interesting about, I don't know if I can see it now because I made a screen print of it. The one that said, when people need your help, but something that I think is the second last slide. Wait, let me just see, maybe I can actually see it. I thought I would remember it, but I don't. People always really need help, but may attack you if you help them. And I was thinking, men always.
Cecile, you got muted there. You seem to be on twice. I'm not too sure what's going on. Whether you've got two sessions running, but somehow you may mute yourself there.
Well, because I lost the connection. So then when I went back into Zoom, I saw, okay, it's reconnecting. So I'll just check now and see if there's two, and I'll undo the other one. Okay, so that's the one about people really need your help, but something about help them anyway.
It's on the screen, Cecile. I've pulled it up if you want to find it. People really need help, but may attack you if you help them. Help people anyway. What struck you about that?
What I thought was amusing is that I always think that if my husband wants to do something, I say, "Oh, can I help you?" or "Let me help you," whatever. Then he always says, "If I needed your help, I would ask for it." They say men will ask for your help, don't just give them your help. So I don't know. The men, can you please comment on that? About your spouses, or maybe other people, other women are more likely to give you help and advice than your spouse.
It's an interesting.
Let me help you.
Yeah, go for it, Jeff.
I haven't got a clue. There's no way that I'm going to step into this argument between Cecile and her hubby. So I'm going to help myself and stay out of this thing.
Ian, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same thing as Trevor. I say I abstain.
Yeah, I certainly won't get into the middle of that, but I do want to say that I generally speaking, people find it hard, I think, to ask for help and even to receive help. My sisters, it was a bit confusing. My sisters son's girlfriend's parents paid for them to fly from Vancouver to Perth in the last couple of days so that they could be in Australia with their family. And it was a very, very expensive flight. And my sister was sort of overwhelmed with the idea of how was she ever going to pay this family back for this flight. And I said to her, well, you've got two hard things that you've got to choose from. Either you take however many years to pay them back for the cost of this flight, or you receive the gift. And it's receiving help and asking for help, two hard things.
Thanks. So,
I think,
yeah.
I think it's actually a bit hypocritical not being willing to ask for help, because there are situations where we are helpless, and we are right now in a crisis where we absolutely rely on each other and others on us, and not being willing to ask for help, I think, particularly in a situation like that, is totally stupid. And if I'm willing to assist others, I think by the same token, I'm entitled to ask for help if I'm in a spot of bother, whatever that may be. Thanks.
Thanks, Herman. Trevor?
So just in keeping with this particular slide, my interpretation is that help should be unconditional. That when you actually see someone that you believe should be helped, you help them even from an anonymous point of view, because sometimes ego and pride gets in the way of the individuals. No matter how deep they are in the poo, some will never ever ask for help. So it should be upon yourself as the potential helper to think about giving of yourself unconditionally in that vein. And then if they do happen to attack you, it's like a dog, for goodness sake. You get a dog trapped in a wire, a barbed wire around him. If you've got to help him, you must know and you must expect that you are going to be bitten if you don't protect yourself. But it doesn't mean that you don't help that dog stuck in the wire there.
Great, thanks, Trev. I'd like to bring a couple of other people in who haven't had a comment yet this morning. I'd like to start with Cello because he's always got some great insight. Cello, do you want to give us your thoughts on that one?
Morning, everybody. I find it such a nice topic on a very different kind of a tangent, if you don't mind my taking a short left about it. My real intrigue with the question is, we are more or less in the helps business. The most of us in this group are coaches, and I'd like for us to also kind of bring insights on how we deal with the matter of now when our help comes with a price tag, if you guys understand what I mean. So it's not really it's more of a question adding on to the question that's already on the table. What happens with us, because our help also comes with a price tag. So now there are people that I would like to help, but then that kind of help, say maybe it's setting up something in business for them. So most of the people that come to me, they say, Mr. Tellers, can you help us? We are struggling with our NPO, can you help us? But that help then has, I mean, debates about it, because usually it means, if I help you, am I going to charge you? What's going to happen? So I'm just throwing another cat amongst the pigeons. I'm just saying I really like the topic because there's an expansion to it that's a practical to what we do for a living at the end of the day.
Great, thanks, Cello. Jasper, are you there? You want to add in there? Jasper, you with us? Yes, no?
Okay. Hi there. Let me also put the video on so that Trevor can see how my beard is coming on. Yeah, no, I think it's a good point that Skeller has there, but then also the other point that I was just thinking of, which probably leads on to what Cecile was starting off with, is you might have the solution, but if a person is not open for your help, it's also like casting pearls before the swine, and a person, is not open for it. So, and I think of of my children when they are facing some certain conditions. And if I jump in and try and solve it for them, it's not appreciated because they haven't asked my help yet. And I see that even play out with my grandkids. They're very independent. And then when you sometimes want to help them, they're now at the stage where they want to do it for themselves. And they're actually very annoyed with you for helping them. So just another angle to say, we may be ready and willing to help, but wait until your help is asked for. Then it will be not just appreciated, but then something will come of it.
Great, thanks, Jasper. Yeah, I see you unmuted there. You want to just add on to that?
Yeah, I just wanted to pick up on what Jasper's just said. You know, when my kids were teenagers and getting into their 20s, I made the mistake of when they had a problem, they would discuss it. And of course, Dad had all the solutions and all the answers. And I went in there and started giving them all what I thought they should be doing. And they got annoyed with me. And my wife said to me one day, she says, you know, sometimes all they want to do is just let off a bit of steam. All they want to do is talk and get somebody to listen. And you're absolutely right. I mean, you've got to find that balance. When they say need help, they need to kind of just vent themselves. They need to kind of talk to somebody and not necessarily for you to come back with your solutions. And picking up what Sela was saying, I think that when you get people that are in business who come to you and they want your help, I think there's kind of a balance there because obviously, as you say, you're in business to make some money. But I think in this particular case, there are people that are in dire straits, people that really do need help. And that is outside of the parameters of your business, so to speak, where you have to just go out there or you just go out there and do what you can to help them in whichever way, whether it's financially, whether it's emotional support or whatever that may be. But it is a fine balance in business because I had the same where people come along and they say, please help me. And you've got to say, well, where do I kind of draw the line between helping people and actually running my business and making some money?
Right, thanks, Ian. Herman, I see you unmuted, but I'd just like to give two other people who haven't had a chance yet just to add their comments in, if you don't mind. So our two newbies, Monique, if you'd just like to open up and tell us what you think you got yourself into this morning and what your thoughts are on the topic.
So I think from what I'm exactly busy with now is,
Monique, we seem to have
statements that we're making here. Can you hear me?
You're sort of going in and out a bit, Monique. Yeah, you're sort of fading in and out a bit.
This Wi-Fi of mine. Can you hear me better now?
That sounds good.
Can you hear me better now?
Yep.
Okay. So my thoughts on this is that, all these statements that we're making here has a lot to do with conditioning. So, conditioning determines our mindset, which then determines our behavior and our results. So if you're saying here people need help, but they may attack you if you help them, help people anyway is the new mindset. So I'm going to help people anyway, irrespective of what my old mindset and my old conditioning was, and irrespective of what their conditioning could be. I'm helping them anyway because that's with the intention of doing good. That's how I'm helping them. But as per Jasper, what he said earlier about helping people regardless, if people aren't able to ask for help, it means they're not open to receive the help. So in some way, they need to be asking for help. And we can get extreme to saying that if people are sleeping on the street, are they asking for help? Of course, they could be, or not. We don't know. So again, it's a case of trying to not project our own wants and our own needs onto somebody who we think needs help. So I'm hoping this makes sense.
Great, thanks, Monique. Sarah, good morning to you. First time on our group with us. I'll ask you the same question that I asked Monique. Welcome on board. What are your thoughts? What you've heard so far? And yeah, if you have video, we'd love to see your face. Everyone knows what you look like as well. So go for it.
All right, thanks, Ian. I don't know if you can see me now. I've just turned on my video, but anyway, I'm using my phone.
Okay. I'm seeing the bottom of your chin, but
oh, it's my phone. So
there we go. There we go.
Is that better?
That's much better.
Okay. Yeah. So I just firstly want to say I appreciate Stella's question. I hope that it would be answered, because I really also would like to get that from that point of view. But also for me, my thoughts are, you know, helping people also has a lot to do with your emotional and mental maturity as well, because you've got to know when to help, as Jasper was saying, and also how you offer help. Sometimes help is rejected because of the way you offer help. That could maybe seem very patronizing, or you assume that someone is wanting help because, you know, from your own perspective and how you view things. And I'll use again children. That's an example. I mean, my children have confronted me because I love to help, inverted commas, you know. And so they'll say, but you're very patronizing when you offer help, because you like, okay, can I just help you people who are not enlightened, you know, even if you don't say it like that, but sometimes your attitude then can cause people to reject your help because of how you actually offer it.
Great, thanks, Sarah. Some great insights. Herman, I see you're desperate to have a word in, so please go for it.
Well, Stella made a very important, or brought a very important aspect in. Being a coach, helping does not necessarily mean giving other people solutions. And that's, I think, the very critical point. If we conduct the conversation, a helping conversation, in such a manner that the other person can identify their own problem and even find the solution through the help of that conversation we conduct with them, you will have a completely different outcome than if we step in and kind of try doing it for them and think this is helping. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Herman. Yeah, I think I'm going to hand back to Lee now just to pick up on and move forward there. So thanks for all those comments.
Yeah, I think again, it's not so much to give a solution, because I think, you know, and I'm thinking specifically of Stella's point around, you know, where does the financial benefit or reward or the exchange of value happen, where, as Herman says, you're actually having a conversation that is creating a completely different outcome for that person. So where is the mutuality of that exchange in terms of financial benefit for you, because this is in fact your business, your work. So there are no easy solutions to that. The one thing I'm going to say is admiring the problem. One, because my husband is a minister in a church, but he doesn't have a local church. He's running his own non-profit organization. And so, but the churches are his customers. And so you can understand that pleading poverty and not wanting to pay for services, and, you know, and underlying expectation that we deserve, we need whatever help you can get, and there's going to be no charge for it, is something that he has to deal with on a daily basis. The way that we are trying to deal with that is that there's a certain amount, as Ian says, there's a certain amount of work that we put aside that is volunteer. So we prepared to give so much time, say 10% of our time as a tithe in a specific context, and say, okay, that we'll do pro bono. But it's also about managing expectations up front and saying, I'm happy to help you, but at this rate. And one of the greatest skills I've learned is negotiation. And everything is negotiable. And sometimes you can get paid in a multitude of different ways that could be of benefit to you.
Okay, thanks, Lee. Trevor, you want to pick up there?
Yeah, I just think maybe the language of this word help is what has got to be changed. And I think Stella raises an interesting point that help should be reserved for when you give unconditional help And from a business perspective, service or value is what you should be using. The service that I can offer to you is this, as opposed to this is how I can help you. And perhaps change that, because we have so many NGOs out there and the non-profits and social entrepreneurs. And I think this word help actually interferes with a professional business view that we offer a service and that we offer value. And that's what we should be projecting. So maybe that's useful.
Thanks, Trev. I'd just like to add a little bit onto that myself, because taking it from a different spin again from the business side, you know, I often go into a situation where I'm going to say to my clients, look, I'm going to charge you for these services or these products or these solutions, but the objective is to enable you to do it yourself. So in other words, it's yes, there's a cost up front, but it's actually going to mitigate a longer term cost. So I don't entrench myself in the service, because that extends the cost, but hopefully what it does is it creates a customer that's actually very happy with your service and will actually talk about it and refer you on to other businesses and other services. So the ability to actually get paid for the service up front, but enable the individual or the customer, the business or the customer to be able to do things themselves later. So it's the old give a man a fish, teach the man to fish kind of philosophy. That I think also has a place. Guy, I see you actually haven't had a chance to have a chat, so go for it, Guy.
No, not a problem. Here's just a quick 30-second story, which will help Sela, hopefully. Picasso's walking down the street in Italy, and a lady bumps into him and says, Picasso, I love your paintings. They are fantastic. Do you mind scribbling me something on this pad? So he says, my dear girl, I don't mind at all. Does a quick sketch, gives it back to her. As he gives it back to her, he says, that's $1 million. But she said, Picasso, how can it be $1 million for that? It only took you 30 seconds. He said, it's taken me 30 years to do that in 30 seconds. Anyway, so I don't know if you heard that. But for Sela, the bottom line is, if you're a coach and you're talking about money and finance, etc., I've always used the word investment to clients. I always tell them I'm an investment on their balance sheet and a tax-deductible expense on their income statement. And they need to see me as an investment. If they see me as a cost, then we're not going to do business. It's simple as that. I tell them that straight up. They don't see me, and having said that, I've obviously got to communicate that they see me an investment in terms of what I present to them, etc., etc. But if I believe I presented X, Y, Z in a way, and there's a certain fee attached to it, they need to see it as an investment, because that's what they're doing. They're investing in my knowledge. They're investing in how I'm going to build or restructure their business, etc., etc. And I've used that for years and years, and I failed sometimes by not getting the whatever, but that's really how it goes. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Guy. I'm just going to hand back to Lee. We are sort of heading towards the bottom of the hour, so Lee, do you want to just take over there and lead us into the last couple of minutes?
Well, I just love the fact that just one simple statement can spin off so much conversation, and sometimes leave more questions than answers. Because just to add into one aspect of this aspect of helping is in this digital marketing era that we're in, and the proliferation of information. It's how do you prove yourself and how do you demonstrate who you are, is very often what we're doing is we are giving away IP that previously we would have withheld because that is our value proposition. But what we're wanting to do is to give first in order to receive. where you find the balance between how much you give before you begin creating an expectation that there will be some return. It always comes back to value, value, value. You know, at what point can you say, I've now given you enough value that you are willing to hand over? I always think of Trevor. He always puts his hand in his pocket and he says, you know, I'm going to put my hard-earned cash, going to pull it out of my pocket, you know, and that's at that point you would have proven your value. But I think that this slide, and if I just wrap up with this, and I think it does come back to words and vocabulary, and we've used these concepts before in our previous conversations around language, around vocabulary. So what is help? What is service? What is value? And what are our perceptions about where people need help versus them asking, and so on. Cecile, thank you so much for raising this question. It was a really, really good one.
Great, thanks. If we want to just everybody just have a sort of 30-second last wrap up, and then I think we'll end the call for today, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So Cecile, do you want to kick off with that?
Yeah, hopefully today it'll be the first day that I can do something different that's not work, not my normal work, because every day it's been a normal work day. So today I've got my little lacy that I'm going to do, and I'm going to be mindful of the things that I'm doing today of, let's say, freedom.
Great, thanks, Cecile. Herman, do you want to have a final word?
Well, thanks for another interesting conversation, and I'm looking forward to see you all tomorrow.
Great, thanks, Herman. Ian?
Thanks. Again, a sort of interesting conversation. Just a point to Jesper, if he wants to meet me in a car park somewhere, I can give him a little brown paper bag with some razor blades in there, and we can do a little transaction. So please feel free to give me a call if you need them. But yeah, another stimulating call, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Great, thanks, Ian. Jesper, seeing that you were named and shamed there.
Well, I just want to remind Ian that help is only needed when I ask for it. So, but thank you.
Great, thanks. Monique? Monique, are you with us? Do you want to just have a last word there?
Yeah, thanks. I didn't know what to expect, and there's definite food for thought. Thank you very much.
Great. See you tomorrow. Sarah?
Yes, thanks everybody, and for also indulging that question, because it's something that's very practical to us. But I think the one kind of thought that I want to leave you with is it's also a matter of listening for me. I realize now it's how much we listen to ourselves, how much we listen to our own intuition, because each case will be different, you know, as always, things are never the same, you know. And thanks for the conversation, guys. These forums really do, you know, they are a blessing.
Right, thanks, Celo. And Sarah?
Thanks. And it was really good and thought-provoking. I mean, I take away the question in my mind, is my value seen as a cost or an investment? But thanks a lot. I'm going to have to readjust my mornings to include more of these sessions, because I do my training sessions, physical training sessions. But I think I would want to be part of this more, particularly in the journey of strengthening my mind and my heart in the midst of what we're facing, so that by the end of whatever it is that we're going through, I'm not at the bottom, but at the top. So thanks a lot to the team.
Great, thanks, Sarah. Guy, you've unmuted there.
Yeah, fantastic input. This is the new comfort zone, what we're doing now, I find. So that's going to be very interesting also. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Guy. Well, I hope it's actually the new uncomfort zone, because we want to get people out of their comfort zones into something new here. But anyway, Trev, you want a final word, and then I think we'll end the call.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. This is the new abnormal, and for me, this is what this exercise is about. I'm looking forward to this thing growing 30 people strong, 50 people strong, 100, 300 people, and that we have a whole gallery of pictures here just to show people the journey that we're taking in learning of this new technology. I mean, I couldn't do this just on 8 days ago. So this is a new learning curve for me, and I'm looking to see how we can apply it to our future in business. And the other thing, folks, I just want to remind you, this blooming COVID-19 thing is deadly serious. I hope you're all watching what's happening worldwide, and we must not ignore and we must not forget just how deadly serious it is. So please, let's just keep thinking of that on a daily basis. We might be doing this for the next 6 to 12 months. So we better ratchet up our skills, and we better do it quickly. And please God, it's over quickly.
Great. Thanks, Trev, and thanks, everybody. Fantastic call again. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Cheers now.